Welcome back, everybody, to Nerd News. I'm your host, Hearn Chambliss, and I'm joined by my co-host, JPO, Jordan Owens. How's it going, man?
Doing just well here. Got some interesting topics to talk about today. Some fortunately sad, some very interesting. So yeah, we're gonna run the gambit here today on the news.
Yes, exactly. So we have three news topics for you guys. Some very big ones. Some one that I just mentioned. So we will talk about this one to begin with. The sad passing of Dumbledore himself, Michael Gambon, who is a legendary Irish actor. So this comes from Collider. It says Michael Gambon, the legendary Irish actor who is beloved by millions worldwide for his performance as Professor Albus Dumbledore in the Harry Potter franchise, has passed away at the age of 82 following a bout of pneumonia. His family confirmed the sad news in this statement. It said, "We are devastated to announce the loss of Sir Michael Gambon, beloved husband and father. Michael died peacefully in a hospital with his wife Anne and son Fergus at his bedside following a bout of pneumonia." So it says Gambon's career spanned 6 decades. Initially took flight on the theater stage, where he shared the spotlight with legendary Laurence Oliver? Oliver?
Olivier.
There we go. He ventured into the world of cinema with his debut appearance in Othello in 1965. Over the years, his on-screen journey has been marked by terrific and at times intimidating roles, including noble films like Layer Cake, The Wings of the Dove, Gosford Park, The King's Speech, as well as collaborations with director Wes Anderson in movies such as The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou and Fantastic Mr. Fox. So, JPO, thoughts on the announcement of Michael Gambon's passing?
Yeah, this was unfortunate. Yeah, this obviously wasn't even on the docket for today, and I woke up to this news here. Yeah, it's definitely sad here. I mean, what was it? He from 2004 on he had played Dumbledore because he did have replaced the previous actor. So yeah, I mean that's definitely the thing my mind goes to as well. But like you said on there, there's some other great stuff as well. Gosford Park, King's Speech. So yeah, man. 82. I mean, in this lifetime, not that I want to undercut it, like. It seemed like he lived hopefully a good life and with family here, left a legacy behind here. You know what I mean? Those Harry Potter films are going to be viewed, for forever to a large degree here as well here. So yeah, definitely much love and kindness to all his family and friends.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, the major role that I think of him is Dumbledore as being a huge Harry Potter fan. Especially because he debuted as Dumbledore in one of my favorite films in the Harry Potter franchise, Prisoner of Azkaban. Sorry about that.
Yeah, which I think that's mine. I think that's a lot of people's favorite. So when he came in a good movie.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. He's someone who, especially off screen, especially if you listen to interviews with Daniel Radcliffe and Rupert Grint, he was someone who really cherished teaching the younger generation about acting and giving them tips and tricks and being.
Dumbledore was a real life Dumbledore.
He was, he was teaching them on set different tricks and really loved being around the kids and really loved just being that kind of father figure to Daniel Radcliffe and all of them. So it's very sad, but as you said, he lived a great life. 82. It's sad to say, but that's usually a full life. But I wish we could have had him a little bit longer. All right, so with that, let's move on to our next news story. Yep. So this is comes from movieweb.com. If I can pull up the.
Yeah, what does the future have in store for Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise? A24 could be the ones to decide.
Exactly. Let me pull it up again because for some reason my phone wants to be an idiot. Go ahead, and if you can pull it up, go ahead and tell the topic, and I will get my phone to work.
Alrighty, what does the future have in store for Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise? A new report reveals that Malik Akkad's Trancas International Film is currently shopping the rights to the Halloween franchise, with acclaimed studio A24 currently leading the bidding war for the TV rights. As per Bloody Disgusting, this comes from, as you said, movieweb.com. Trancas International Films is now actively shopping the rights to the Halloween franchise around Hollywood. For clarity, while Miramax co-owns the film rights, Trancas is the sole owner of all TV rights. When we understand there's a massive bidding war going on right now for the television rights, with several different parties interested in vying for the chance to bring Michael Myers back to life. We're hearing exclusively that A24 and Miramax are the two main parties currently in battle for TV rights, and that A24 is currently leading the charge. The horror classic Halloween was directed by John Carpenter and written by Carpenter and Deborah Hill. The movie released back in 1978 and starred good old Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, Donald Pleasance as Samuel Loomis, and Nick Castle as horror icon Michael Myers. The film was followed up in 1981 with Halloween 2, which saw Curtis return to reprise the role as Laurie Strode and Pleasance return once again to play Samuel Loomis. However, unlike its predecessors, 1982's Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, was not a direct sequel to the previous two horror films and instead featured a brand new story that did not include the popular character of Michael Myers. Since the third installment in the franchise was the only sequel to not include the horror villain, and 1988's Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers, brought back the fan favorite character. The fourth one was followed by 1989's Halloween 5, Revenge of Michael Myers, 1995's Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, 1998's Halloween H2O 20 years later, and 2002's Halloween Resurrection. Later in 2007, Rob Zombie offered a new take on the first two films with the 2007 horror slasher Halloween and its 2009 sequel Halloween 2. While the film franchise has included novels and comic books, it wasn't until 2018 that David Gordon Green ended up reviving the movie franchise with his trilogy. Green's 2018 film Halloween was a direct sequel to Carpenter's 78 horror classic and saw Curtis return to once again play Laurie Strode. The movie followed with 2021's Halloween Kills and 2022's Halloween Ends, which also closed out Universal and Blumhouse's ties to the popular horror franchise. Well, Halloween officially... Oh, okay.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I wasn't sure how much if you want to get into because now it's just kind of talking about the history. With Halloween officially on the market, Bloody Disgusting reports that the rights to the franchise is being actively shopped around, with Miramax, who owns the film rights, and A24 proving to be the two parties currently competing to claim the TV rights. According to the outlet, A24 is currently leading the bidding war. Previously, A24 won the rights to produce a Friday the 13th TV series called Crystal Lake, which is currently being created for the Universal-owned Peacock. Sources for the outlet have also implied that Trancas is open to the franchise continuing with both film and TV projects and is currently open to offers from studios and streamers. Additionally, as a co-owner to the film rights, Miramax would automatically be involved in any movie sequels created in the future. While at this time it is unclear just what the future has in store for the Halloween franchise, there's no doubting that horror icon Michael Myers will be back at some point in the future. I mean, was there ever any doubt, Hunter?
No, not at all. So my thoughts on A24 possibly doing a Halloween TV series is A24 is the perfect studio for this. When you look at what A24 does well is that they use character-driven, slow burn horror films to their absolute, perfection. And what's great about this one is that if you take the characters like, for example, say they go with, a Jamie Lloyd, all grown up TV series. The fact that they can then delve into
bring back Danielle Harris.
Yes, bring back Danielle Harris.
You reboot shit all the time. That character can totally be alive. Reboot
yes. But imagine a Jamie Lloyd series where it deals with her trauma and you have more time to deal with her childhood past and things like that, with Michael Myers always looming in the background. That could be awesome to see. Or, I mean, if you want to do your own story with Michael Myers, having Michael Myers come back, but having this kind of old coming back to the 78 where it's a slower slasher with not a lot of gore, but a lot of intense scenes. I think A24 is the perfect studio to really bring in this kind of slower paced Halloween project.
I almost kind of wish David Gordon Green had gone that route because that was kind of the problem, is that I feel he had a lot of interesting ideas and it felt rushed, especially the third one when you introduced the new character out of nowhere.
I really liked the third one, but it was unfocused.
But that's the thing. I almost feel like that actually would have lent itself to a TV show to show you how the neighborhood's reacting, to show you how that character is grown. Even The granddaughter, I thought her kind of arc was kind of like all over the place and rushed a little bit.
Yeah.
So again, I kind of because in a way, at first I was going to say I'm a little trepidatious just because I don't know if Halloween lends itself to a TV show, but at the same time, like what, looking at the last trilogy, I felt like if you had been able to expand those thoughts, it might have been a little more coherent and actually enjoyable. So yeah, I'm open to it. And as you said, if anyone's going to lead it, A24, I got no problem with that at all. So
especially if because the David Gordon Green trilogy, the one thing I actually love about that, solo trilogy, is that it's not just focused on Michael Myers versus Laurie Strode. It's focused on Michael Myers' impact on the community of
right,
Haddonfield as a
in the
whole.
town,
So, yeah, as you said, imagine if that was a TV series where you have 10-hour-long episodes to really, flesh out Haddonfield and its effect that Michael's evil has on it. That's a really interesting take on the Halloween franchise that with 3 movies felt very jumbled. But if you had 10 hours to tell that story, you have way more time to develop these characters.
Even if it's 6 or 10, yeah, for sure,
yeah. So it gives you more options. Plus, with A24 doing the Crystal Lake series, we could get a crossover. Michael versus Jason, baby.
Let's say that for season 2. Let's get season 1 out.
Season 2.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, man. Overall, though, I love A24 as a horror studio. I think they're putting out some of the best horror movies. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, they were the studio behind Hereditary and Midsommar, right?
They gotta be, right? Yeah, I'm bad with remembering that. But yeah, A24's track record, I know, is pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, and they had a lot of different, really great horror movies. Like Green Room, I think is fantastic. So a Green Room style Halloween project would be awesome, where it's takes place in one location, and you've got this looming threat, always behind you. That could be very interesting.
No, yeah, they're definitely they're the ones behind Hereditary, and Midsommar.
Midsommar, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Hell, now, look, I know a lot of people don't like the Cult of Thorns, but can you imagine a Cult of Thorns Midsommar style Halloween series? Because
that's the place to have fun with it and kind of play with it.
Yeah, that pagan style, witchcraft thing, like the witch style, where it's they use that fantastical element to do a rebooted Cult of Thorns with Michael Myers. That could be very interesting.
I don't love it, but I'm open to it. that is also the number one question too. Is what is going to be their goal? Is it going to be reboot? Are we going back to Laurie Strode when she's 16?
Are we not go back to Laurie Strode?
Are we doing no Strode at all? Are we doing like you said the Jamie? Or you know what I mean? There's a lot of different ways. You know what I mean? Are we going to even maybe keep it in this universe but go past? I don't know. A lot of different ways you could tackle it. You know what I mean?
To be fair, I wouldn't mind because didn't Corey survive at the end of Halloween Ends? I'm pretty sure he did.
Is Corey Corey the new dude, like the douchey dude?
Yeah.
No, he's dead. Remember, he's like, if you can't have her or I can't have her, no one can.
Oh, right. It's been a while. He could have survived. Damn it, you don't know. We never saw.
Yeah, true. I mean, in this land and age, because in fact, remember, do you remember in Halloween Kills the couple they're playing with the droid? The one lady gets the fucking light tube to the neck, and she's alive in the third. Yeah. And I'm like, no, that bitch was dead. No.
Follow Corey with the TV series. Damn it, follow Corey.
No, but I mean, no. At this point, I think a lot of people are just done with Corey. I think that would piss people off. But no, I mean, like I said, I think Corey, that was only my thing with the third one, was that I felt like all of a sudden the lead character was this new dude. Threw me off.
See, introduce Corey in 2018 Halloween as a classmate, and then go to Halloween Kills and then Halloween Ends.
Build that character. Show me a little here, a little there, and then the turn. Not just all of a sudden, this dude takes center stage. What?
Dude, that Halloween Ends was pretty much Christine. It really was just Christine. All right, so is there anything else that we want to talk about when it comes to the Halloween TV series?
I'm legitimate when I say recast Danielle Harris. I'm really not against that idea. You know what I mean? Of
I'm not either.
the continuing trauma. Have we rebooted Jamie Lee Curtis already? Where we're allowed now? We're like, nah, 2 doesn't count, H2O doesn't count. Now let's reboot where everything up till what is it? What would it be? 5 counts.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, dude, like from 5 on with Danielle
yeah,
Harris as the lead. That's great.
yeah.
Give me
Because
that story.
I think that's an interesting story. I mean, her battling like, hey, she did stab her mom, whatever that one time and whatnot, but she still has those, because I think she's young enough now where like she'd still be in her 20s or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's move on to our final topic of the night, which it might be the longest one discussion wise. Ladies and gentlemen, the writer's strike is officially over. The WGA votes to lift strike order after 148 days. This comes from Variety. It says the Writers Guild of America, the WGA strike is officially over. On the 148th day of the work stoppage, the board of the WGA West and Council of the WGA East voted unanimously on Tuesday to lift the strike order as of 12:01 a.m. PT on Wednesday, following a tentative agreement on a new minimum basic agreement, the NBA contract with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, the AMPTP. That means that writers can go back to work as of Wednesday, even before the final ramifications vote on the contract. The unanimous decision to end the strike comes 2 days after the writers in Hollywood studios successfully concluded talks for a new 3-year NBA deal on September 24th, following a marathon negotiation session. The two sides were able to find compromises on key sticking points, including generative AI in the creative process, minimum staffing requirements for writing room, and streaming residuals. Here is the overall guild per the agreement. It says AI can't write or rewrite literary materials, and AI generated materials will not be considered source materials under MBA, meaning that AI generated materials can't be used to undermine a writer's credit or separate rights. A writers can choose to use AI when performing writing services if the company consents and provides that the writers follow applicable company policies, but the company can't require the writers to use AI software, example ChatGPT, when performing writing services. The company must disclose any writers if any materials given to the writer has been generated by AI or incorporated AI generated material, and the WGA reserves the right to assert that exploitation of writers' materials to train AI is prohibited by NBA and other laws. Okay, JPO. What is your thoughts on the writer's strike as a whole? Because I'm not sure if I've heard your actual take on it, and that the writer's strike is officially over.
I mean, just hopefully, and I'd like to actually hear from somebody. I want to hear like more from the actual writers. Hopefully, they're yeah, no, yeah, that's coming up in a couple hours on CWT Chris Cass's channel. Somewhere on my whiteboard. Here, cheap plug.
There you go. All right, guys,
Uh,
go over there and check it out.
no, hopefully, I would love to hear from the writers to make sure that everyone's happy here because that's the number one thing. So hopefully, they feel that they got. I don't know if they got everything they wanted, but hopefully they got enough to where it does seem like all this was worth it here, man. And yeah, and then just as a fan, thank God, you know what I mean. So stuff. We already saw some movies get delayed. Obviously, things were postponed as well, just from being shot in general here. Yeah, man, no, but I think these things are important to have and to talk about. We've seen it a couple times now. There was one, several years back. I remember like it infected 30 Rock and all our favorite sitcoms and everything, and SNL as well. And I thought it was good that a lot of people stood behind it. It definitely seemed like this one got a lot of love and traction, and people, Drew Barrymore backing out of like award shows, and SNL and all the talk shows kind of taking a hiatus as well. Those are slightly coming back now that Jimmy Kimmel already said he'll be back next week, I think. So, yeah, man, I'm glad it's over. Like I said, hopefully they got a good enough deal. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'd love to hear from some writers to see if they got what they hopefully wanted for the most part. And we get back on track and making some good media and expecting all the forces behind it, all the writers and everything.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that the writers did get a lot of things that they wanted because of the fact that the WGA did come out and say that 2 days ago, before the contract was agreed upon, that the leader of the WGA came out and said that this contract is really good for them. And that
Okay.
includes stuff like, AI and things like that. But it also, is in regards to streamers and, streaming residuals. Another thing it says, regarding streaming, writers were also fighting to make streaming numbers less opaque so they know that the viewership on their own shows. Streaming services will now share the data with so that now, like, people like Netflix and Hulu have to share
Mm,
their numbers with the WGA personally. That way they can get a fair amount on their residual checks. So
that
like
makes sense.
if
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so like depending on, it says for shows and movies that are viewed by 20% of the streaming services within 90 days, writers will be compensated with residual bonuses. So again, more money to the writers for people who continue to watch their shows even years down the line, which is good
Yeah.
for them as well.
Yeah, because that's the thing too. I mean, and that's been happening for years. You can't always predict how technology is changing. I mean, I remember like
Mm-hmm.
when DVDs first came out, and the actors were like, "Oh, what?" and they were getting nothing off that, and the writers were getting nothing off the DVDs because it just wasn't in their
Yep.
contracts originally. And now we got to figure out these streaming things. So it does make sense that we got to kind of update things every once in a while. I know even like there's
Yeah.
been problems even in like pro wrestling with like figuring out like, hey, we used to get money for all the DVDs you sold. Now it's all on the network or Peacock, and we're not getting anything. So like, yeah, there's
Exactly.
maybe wrestling needs to do the same thing.
Wrestler strike. Do it.
Hey man, yeah. No, honestly, I think Jesse Ventura and others have joked about that, but yeah, you got to really get everyone behind you.
I mean, that's the point though. It's like the strikes, like people weren't striking just to get out of work. They were striking to get, you know, fair pay. When you really look at the fact that, like, if someone like, Bob Iger of Disney gave up 1% of his, annual income, all the writers could be paid, fairly all the way across the board. And he, like, Bob Iger would still make billions and billions of dollars on top of that.
Yeah.
It shows the greed of Hollywood studios, especially like Iger coming out and saying that like he would replace all the writers with AI, which like no you wouldn't, because when you write something you want that personal feel, that human connection to it, that AI and robot technology can't provide.
Yeah, that's the biggest crazy thing, man. I still don't know how to wrap my head around like how crazy that technology is becoming in such a short amount of
Mm-hmm.
time, and that weird
Skynet is
battle.
coming.
Hey man, yeah, T2 had it right all along.
A few years off, but you know what? We're slowly getting there. Is there anything else you want to bring up about the writer strike before we head out?
No, not too much. Like I said, I'm happy from a fan level. Like you said, if the guy came out and said that he's happy with the deal, that's the most important thing. So
Mm-hmm.
that makes me even more happy now. And yeah, let's get back to making great entertainment, man. Because if we don't have it, then we got nothing to review on shows like this.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure that most of the movies that were supposed to come out next year are going to be still pushed again. I'm pretty sure Deadpool 3 is getting pushed to maybe towards the end of 2024. But like
Yeah.
it would be like what happened in 2020 with the pandemic, where like a
I
lot
was
of
gonna
movies
say,
are
I
supposed
know
to come out in 2020.
I'm almost numb to it now. I'm like used to like,
Same.
yeah. All right, well, I'll
Okay.
see Mission Impossible whenever the fuck it comes out. Like, you know what I mean? It just
On the bright side, though, especially with like Deadpool 3, I'm so excited that like Ryan Reynolds can now ad-lib and change
yeah,
his
like I
jokes
was
and stuff in
almost
the
like
script.
when I had heard they couldn't, I'm like, don't even bother filming. Like, wait a few months. Like, shit.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna do reshoots or they'll have to maybe do some ADR. Like, yeah,
They'll probably just let Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman just ad-lib a lot of their lines, because they're like friendship like off screen and their chemistry on screen. You can get a lot of great stuff, but because of the writer strike, you couldn't have them just go off and ad-lib with each other because like you had a set script that like could not be changed. But now they can go on there. Ryan Reynolds can, add new lines, add new jokes and things like that. I think the writer strike is going to help a lot of movies because now it gives writers and directors more chances to make their product as best as it can be, even if that means pushing it back a little bit.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I'd rather wait a couple more months for the best Deadpool 3 we can get than, just rush it out. Just simply rush it out. So, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one of the most
Yeah.
anticipated movies of next year. I mean, I love the first two Deadpools, and you got Wolverine back. So,
So speaking of Deadpool 2, I had a fan theory for a long time that like I doubt they're going to use now, but like it would make so much sense if they did. It's like Deadpool at the post-credit scene used the what's it called? The belt he used to travel through time.
Mm-hmm.
So my idea is that he meets up with Morbius from Loki, Owen Wilson's character, and like Deadpool has fucked up the timeline so much by killing like Ryan Reynolds and stuff that like it's now a buddy cop comedy with like Owen Wilson and Ryan Reynolds just going through like different timelines.
That'd be and some people I know some have speculated because Owen's in the movie, isn't he not?
I don't think he was cast.
I thought I saw Owen might be in it. But I mean, there is like some speculation as to like them messing with the timeline and whatnot because I like they showed some picture of like the Fox logo or I don't know. I think they're gonna have some fun with Deadpool 3. I think they're gonna have some fun with Deadpool 3.
I'm pretty sure Coin Jandrew was right. Like this movie is gonna be Deadpool kills the Fox universe, and I'm so excited for it. Please, like give me all of that because, dude, Deadpool in the MCU is gonna be hilarious. Like the jokes he can make like towards Disney itself, like just incredible. All right, if there's not anything else, I know there is one thing, like one news story I want to bring up is that Saw X is actually getting really great reviews, and I'm super excited for it. It has like an 82, I think, critic rating right now on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
I think, yeah. Let me check to be sure. I checked this morning, but it may have gone down since then. Let me check.
I will know. I'm going tomorrow night or like early night too, so I'll know. It's 83% right now.
Yep, with 47 views, which might be one of the highest. Yeah. I think it's like number 2 behind the original.
We got Perry Nemiroff, of course we love from Collider. Top tier Saw film, a well-crafted John Kramer-focused story with a heavy emphasis on his mentor-protege connection with Amanda that strikes the ideal balance between standing on its own 2 feet and enhancing franchise mythology. All right.
And then you got Bibbs, who said Gert's film brings back the core elements that made these movies work. It's an uncompelling, effective horror thriller, even though it's trapped himself in the past with nowhere else to go.
Yeah, and that's also positive. Cody Leach, I'm a fan of, gave it a positive review. Yeah, so cool.
So I'm very excited because as someone who's not really a big Saw fan, like I love the first 2 films, and the fact that this is going back to like in between Saw 1 and 2 gets me so fucking excited because I love John Kramer as a character. I like his kind of outlook on like his brand of justice, you know what I mean? Like that, it's like a Dexter type character where it's like Dexter is killing people, but he's killing people who are in the wrong. So is he really the bad guy type thing?
Yeah, but Dexter is a little better.
I don't know. In this one though, like in Saw X, like they literally took the money and pretty much took his life from him.
Yeah, I know. I want to say Dexter straight up like kills like bad guys. This time, sometimes I feel like and then it's the movies. He'll take
the later movies.
You never called the cops after you saw a kid get hit. It's like, yeah, they were human. They're flawed, and now I'm gonna fucking rip off your eyeballs after you try to get a key through the acid.
Or like Amanda, it's like, oh, you were a drug addict. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like she's flawed. She's got, I felt bad. Donnie Wahlberg got the bad end of the stick. That dude was tortured for like 3 movies. And like, why? Because he was kind of a shitty cop. Like, I don't know. Like, does he deserve jail time? Maybe. Did he deserve what he got? No. But
I actually
no.
really liked the Jigsaw killer in Spiral, like his motivation. I think that one was a really cool, like taking real life situations and bringing it on screen.
Yeah, and we'll never see that guy again, probably.
No, which sucks because he does escape, and then it's like, yep, let's go back to John Kramer because everybody hated this.
The movie didn't work. No, and like it was so obvious too. Like, and I'm not to like give a mini review of that movie here too, but the fact that like it's the one time they didn't show the death, I'm like, all right, so that dude's probably alive then. You know what I mean? Because they tried acting like, oh, he got killed and tortured. I'm like, well, then you would have showed us that he got killed and tortured. Like you've done every other kill in this franchise for 9 movies.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. So if that's all we're going to talk about, JPO, where can people find you online?
In the bushes. No. You can find me over at the Pierce Co. We do a lot of movie trivia over there, as well as countdown. Sometimes we do drafts. We're actually doing a lot of horror stuff in the month of October, so you should definitely come and hang out over at the Pierce Co. Hunter because we'll be doing horror trivia with pictures and plots and videos.
I want in on that.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I was talking, and you're definitely on the list of people. Yeah, whenever you're free. So we might be seeing some of you in October. And then we also got the Pierce Wrestling channel. We have a lot of fun over there. We've got exclusive matches, interviews, as well as also trivia over there as well. And then, of course, popping up on here from time to time, Movie Hero Network, Battleground, Lights Out, CWT,
live, he's everywhere.
Confidential Action. Yeah, I pop up wherever I can. Rank them.
And also, you will be on the next episode of Welcome to Primetime because we are doing Buffy season 5, part 2 ranking.
I might have to wait until season 6, but I will be on soon because I didn't get a chance to finish 5, but I definitely want to join you for 6 because
season 5, Buffy. Man, it's so good.
I watched a good chunk of it for the first time in a while. I've seen Glory again and whatnot. So,
dude,
like I said, I've seen every episode at least a couple times, but it's been a while, so it's been fun revisiting it.
So yeah, on the next episode of Welcome to Primetime, we are doing Buffy season 5 part 2, and then the week after we are doing we're going back to our 80s horror movie bracket for the 1980s, which is going to be so much fun. All right, guys, so we have a lot.
I'm gonna have to watch that because I know I'll be watching a lot of horror in October, so I need some recommendations. I'm sure I have some 80s gaps. So
there you go, man. Also check out my TikTok because I am doing a lot of movie reviews, especially with this upcoming week. We have a lot of new movies coming out from my local theater that I work at. So I do like in the theater reaction videos. So check out that as well.
I'm doing a triple shot tomorrow.
Triple shot? What movies are you doing?
Dumb Money, Saw 10, and don't yell at me because it just fits in time-wise. Expendables 4, I will also get in there.
Ooh, I heard bad things about Expendables 4.
I haven't heard good things either. But yeah, I try to do 2 or 3, and it just falls in time-wise where we don't have to wait too long.
See Paw Patrol.
No, I'm not doing Saw Patrol double feature. I'm not doing it. No.
All right, guys. If you did enjoy this, hit that like button, subscribe to Nerd Entertainment Network down below. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys soon.